Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me. I decided to go live tonight. There's so much stuff going on. Sometimes I can't get these videos up as fast as I would like to. So I thought I'd just come on and talk live. I'm not sure if anybody's going to come over to this other page because I'm rarely on this page. Um, but I wanted to go on and just talk about some topics that are out here that I haven't been able to get around to. And I guess I'll start with the whole Jamie Foxx situation. I don't know what's going on with that. He, do you guys find it interesting how it's like it's mysterious, and I think that's what's kind of feeding some of the conspiracy theories, right? Because you would think that I think he has more than one daughter. I could be wrong, but you would think maybe one of the kids or a family member would come out. I mean, Jamie Foxx has been in the industry for a long time. When you start thinking about going back to In Living Color, um, so yeah, you would think that somebody would say something, right? And then that statement was put out, and people were saying, "Oh, he didn't really put that up." So I don't know. I don't know, but I guess eventually we will know something, right? Some people are saying he's doing better. Some people are saying they don't think he is because of the way everything is being handled. Now, it's possible that he's just not able to talk, right? So maybe that's what it is, and they just don't want to say that right now. I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the whole Jamie Foxx situation in the comments. And then of course there's a lot of chatter about why he's in the hospital in the first place. Some people seem to think Puffy had some, which I will say that it is interesting that I think it was like 2 weeks, right, after that whole situation about him getting into it, or they said he had a meltdown on set, right? That story was all over the place, right? Maybe what, 2 weeks before he actually got sick. And so like I said, I can see how a lot of this stuff is feeding the conspiracy um, theorist. But let me know what you guys think about the Jamie Foxx situation. We wish him, a speedy recovery. I, I think people are just wanting to know what's going on, if he's okay, if he's in recovery for real, or, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm not gonna get off to that puffy stuff because I don't know that I believe that, but I don't put anything past anyone. I know that there was something about he was talking about a puffy party or something. I don't know, but people have said the same things about Jamie Foxx as well. So I don't really see him being serious about spilling anybody's tea. And I don't think that that's a secret anymore at this point about Puffy anyway. I think everybody kind of think that he doing some, a lot of stuff out here. But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about all of that. Then the other thing that I wanted to talk about, I see some people create commentary around Lorenz Tate interview with Earn Your Leisure. I thought it was a good interview. I was watching it today because some people are trying to make it sound like he was saying something about Black British actors, and he wasn't. He was very respectful in his tone, very respectful in the way he handled what he was trying to say, and his conversation was really directed to Hollywood. It was not directed to anybody, any other actors, and I didn't think so because Lorenz, that's not really what you get from him as long as he's been around. He's been around a long time as well. I don't recall, that just don't come off like his style to sit out here and badmouth people. Um, so I didn't think that was true anyway. So that's why I wanted to watch the interview for myself. And you guys can watch it for yourself as well over at Earn Your Leisure. But he was just saying that he felt like Hollywood is kind of choosing the Black um, actor from outside of America because they're using this excuse that they can bring in this broader audience. And I get what he's saying with that, and it could be true, could not. Who's to say? My personal theory, and I've already said this in other videos. I feel like it's about economics. It's about keeping money out of our community at the end of the day. Any way you can go around that, people are going to do that. They know that these people, more than likely, a lot of them are not going to really plant roots in America, which a lot of them that you think of, they're not, like the John Boyegas and Idris Elba. These people live here to work and then they go wherever. And so yeah, it's economics to me. That's my opinion. But he was saying that he felt like that they're trying to use this thing that they're gonna hit a broader audience. But then he was saying when he's overseas, people know who they know lines from Menace to Society or whatever movie he was in, different movies that he's been in. And so he felt like that people in Africa and people over in the UK, they know the Black actor here in America as well. And you guys hear me saying this all the time. I think like people like Tasha K and other people who have the means to build this bridge among Black art across the globe, we should be doing that. Anyway, it's only common sense. But see, Black people have this thing where they're conditioned to sit and wait for somebody else to do something for them and to wait for approval from these people. So you guys people are stuck in this I'm waiting for approval think mode. To me, that's what I feel. I feel like, and people are looking up and they're seeing themselves get replaced, and because that's how trickery works. And I didn't really feel like he was trying to be disrespectful to these actors the way some people are trying to word that. That's not what he said at all. His conversation was directed to the way Hollywood is playing that. Because yeah, you are starting to hear more foreign names in the few roles that are put out here for Black actors, and then you have all this stuff that's centered around slavery all the time. And I'm telling you guys, all of that stuff is by design because we could be making another Love Jones. We could be telling a plethora of stories. We could be telling Luther Vandross' story. We could be telling Phyllis Hyman's story. It's other stuff to talk about out here. Period. It just is. It's just too much other stuff to talk about, too many other stories to tell, to stay focused on stuff that people are really just trying to rewrite and to romanticize slavery, as if it was nothing or it was somehow some cakewalk for those people who had to endure that. And a lot of people didn't survive with those times, and so people want to sit out here and press over that like it didn't happen. So you keep creating these fake stories and blurring the lines of reality. Soon enough, these generations that's coming behind us, they're going to believe this stuff. They're just believing it. So that's my thing. I don't like the constant repeat of the slave movies. I don't get that. I don't know why we have to keep doing that. And so then, people are trying to feel like, well, we need to have these people because they're authentic Africans. And, I don't know what they try to do with it, but I agree with him. You can see that, but I think people have been seeing that for a while. You have the only couple staples, Samuel L. Jackson and Denzel. We're not seeing any growth with our young Black actors, right? We're not seeing the work getting put out here for them to come in and to showcase their talent. You're not seeing any growth in that way. You're just seeing the same old people, same old names. And I'm not blaming those people. I'm just saying Black people are just stuck in that place, and we're not doing anything about it at the end of the day. Which I was gonna talk about BET in here, but I'll wait. I think I'm gonna put that in a separate video because people are still talking about revamping BET. I don't think we need a BET. I don't think there's a Black community that needs a BET. I think that people are just playing on the word Black at this point, and they're playing on the legacy of those people who wanted to build things for the African American community because we didn't have them. But now everybody feel like that they're a part of all this other stuff. So why do you need a BET? But I'm gonna get into that and get into the people the names that are coming up around who want to create this BET, and that's how you know it's BS. I'm not interested. I don't think that we need a BET. I think that they should create their own. The same people, I don't care because I'm not gonna watch it anyway. But I think they could just create their own. Stop biting off of what other people have done and be original, do your own thing. That's my point. And you know that you don't care about doing nothing for Black folk, so don't even use that nonsense like that. It be disrespectful to the legacy of what BET was when it first started. Just let it go. Like let the essence thing go. Let the ebony thing go. Just let the stuff go because it's not necessary today. It's just not. I think when people were sitting down coming up with these things, they were necessary. And they were yeah, they were necessary for us to have them. I don't think that it's necessary for us to have these things. I don't think it's enough Black people in this country for us to feel like we need to have that. Everybody wants to. I don't know. I'll get into it in that. I don't, because this is a live video. I don't get to cut back what I'm saying, so I'm just gonna go on and leave it alone and save it for the next video. What else did I want to talk about? So yeah, that's a really good video. I mean, a good interview with Lorenz Tate over at Earn Your Leisure. The entire interview, because he was talking about a bunch of other things. He was talking about the different Black actresses that he was started opposite of, like Halle Berry and Nia Long. He was saying that he would like to work with Regina King, even though they have worked together, but he wants a real role with her. I really enjoyed the conversation, and he is definitely aging backwards. He still looks the same. So yeah, I enjoyed the interview. Yeah, but let me know what you guys think about that conversation about the British invasion, quote unquote British invasion. Um, and do you get it? Do you get what he's saying, and do you get what I'm saying? Because he's not saying what I'm saying. I'm the one saying it's about economics. He was just saying that he's under the impression that Hollywood feel like they are hitting a bigger audience if they use a Idris Elba or a John Boyega. I'm gonna get to him too, because you know the lady's been out here talking about him, but I'm gonna talk about him in a different. I was gonna talk about him in this video, but I'm gonna wait and talk about him in a different video. It's gonna take me a minute to get these videos up, but eventually I will. Um, but yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. The Hollywood conversation about them using the British actors. Do you think that um, it's by design for the reasons that I'm saying, or just for the reasons that he's saying that they think that they're gonna hit a bigger audience and as far as box office wise or budget wise, I mean, not budget wise, making money wise, right? Let me know what y'all think about that. And then the other story that's out here is, of course, this Usher and Chris Brown situation that I guess he um, had a birthday party, Chris Brown's birthday party. Someone threw him a surprise party. I don't know if it was Usher. Some people were saying that Usher was the host of the party, which it really don't make sense to me, but they were saying that there was a birthday party for Chris Brown, and the videos are all over the place. Um, Usher came with Tiana Taylor, and I guess Tiana Taylor and Chris Brown had a creative difference about a performance or something that was canceled. I think that someone was saying that she was supposed to be a part of it, and Sierra and Tiana pulled out, and so Chris Brown got upset, and so he was kind of thinking, I guess that had this is all allegedly, child, because somebody else said this from another YouTuber, so I don't know how true this is. This did not come from Tiana. This is that did not come from Chris Brown or Sierra. So I don't know how true it is, but that he got upset with them because they pulled out, thinking that maybe they pulled out because of the pressure over people now wanting Chris Brown to do this Michael Jackson performance, right? And I forget what award show that was. You know, I don't follow all that stuff, but and so he was upset with Tiana or whatever, and he really should not get in public, speaking of Chris Brown, letting screaming and hollering at no woman ever again in life. Okay, like somebody really need to sit him down and explain that to him. Nobody wants to see you showing out with no woman. Like you really need to learn how to treat women or stay away from them, and you certainly need to do it in public. Like, first of all, why are you trying to get in her face and yell and scream at her anyway? I agree with Usher with trying to kind of back him away from that. I don't know. I don't think it was a fight. Usher looks fine. I don't see Usher's Lovers and Friends concert went on, and I think they said Chris Brown is a part of it, so he's scheduled to go on as well. So I don't know. I think that some of it might be a little bit of like a PR stunt, right? To get people to pay attention, I guess, to this tour or to the concert or whatever. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that situation as well with Chris Brown and Usher. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he really shouldn't be in no woman's face ever again, yelling and screaming and trying to put his hands on nobody or none of that. And that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. What else was I trying to talk about? Um, oh, you know what? This is random. I'm just gonna bring this up since I'm live. Whack 100 was saying that Baby, aka Birdman, Brian Williams, Cash Money Records, is going to see BG, right? Because you guys know BG is scheduled, if you're not familiar with him. Well, y'all should be familiar with BG. So anyway, um he is scheduled for release in 2024, I believe at the beginning of the year next year. So that's kind of coming around, right? Because we are almost at 6 months in a minute. And so he was saying that I guess Baby had put up some video or somebody posted some video of him going to see BG because they're trying to put together a Hot Boys tour. And since we're at the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I'm just gonna go and throw this in here. My point that I wanted to make, because WAC 100 was on Clubhouse, and then people post his podcast here on YouTube. He was, he's in the video screaming and hollering about He don't think that BG will sign with Baby again to do a tour, like a Hot Boys tour. Cause I mean, when he get out, then we will finally get all of them together. And I don't know if people know that when I guess when they first started as Hot Boys, that's Turk, Wayne, Juvie, and BG. Turk had got arrested, so he was in jail for a long stretch of the time that Cash Money was going on. That's why people didn't hear a lot from him. So this will be the first time that all four of them will, we will really get to see all four of them together. So it's kind of a big deal. And then BG's been gone now for a while. And so, yeah, a lot of people want to see that, right? They would want that tour. And so they're, WAC 100 was like, oh, a lot of people are trying to get them. A lot of people are going to try to get them. And I personally, this is just my feeling. And maybe I just feel like this because I was born in New Orleans. I feel like they are going to do it with Baby. I think that everybody's loyalty is different, right? The way you see things about as far as family or, people that you come up with is different. I think that they will do it with Baby and Manny Fresh. They will probably bring him in as well. Because, Baby to fell out with everybody. But I have seen him with Juvenile, so I think that, and with Wayne. So that's my point, though, too. I think that these people understand where they came from and what all they came through to where they are now. And so I do think that they will do it with him. I think that, like I said, everybody's loyalty to people is different. And some people probably don't understand what I'm saying or don't understand that. But I do think that they are going to do it with Baby. And I think that that's the right thing to do because people are going to want to see Manny Fresh as well. They're going to want to see that whole Cash Money, just to see that whole thing again. Um, because it's like I said, Turk went to jail kind of early on, so it was really down to three of them, and so it never gave you that feel of having the Hot Boys the way it started out. So I think people do want to see that. And then of course Wack 100, he was just talking all kind of mad shit. I mean, I still don't know who this man is. I promise you, I still don't know who the heck he is supposed to be, child. But he be having so much to say. And he was just talking a bunch of mess and saying, I don't think that they will do it with Baby, but I do. I think that they are going to do it with him. Um, and I would definitely want to see it. I personally would want. I think that especially the way you see it, how these kids dropping out here today. The fact that they can always say that they're still here. That's that, and they've all been through a lot of stuff. That's it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me. I would want to see it, and so people are gonna right now. I'm not saying that he's going to sign maybe his solo deal with them, but I think that he would do that Hot Boys tour with Cash Money. That's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think. Now I haven't heard BG say nothing. This is just my opinion. Because he might be, I know that everybody that fell out with Baby Child at some point. So I don't know where people are with him. But I know that in recent, time, I've seen him with Juvenile and Wayne. Now how Turk feel about it, I don't know. But I just feel that way. I feel like they are going to do it as Cash Money. If they're going to do a Hot Boys reunion or Hot Boys tour, I do think that it's going to be a Cash Money situation. That's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think in the comments about that and what Wack 100 have to say. If you heard all that stuff, because I don't even remember half that stuff he was saying. He was just saying so much. He was just being Wack 100 at the end of the day. What else did I say I wanted? Oh, So did I put the video up with Dr. Umar? Some young lady was over there saying that he was trying to talk to her, which I don't think anybody's surprised about Dr. Umar behavior with women. I don't, I don't think that she was saying anything that people couldn't believe, right? Like she wasn't telling us nothing new. I think people think that about him anyway. And he has been very open about the fact that he is into polyamory and all that stuff. So that kind of lets you know what to expect from him, right? And he just looked like the type of person that's, if he is attracted to someone, he's going to press you, right? That's how I feel. That's my opinion. That's what you get over here, in my opinion. And so, O'Shea Duke Jackson, who is another YouTuber, he put a video, he put a video up, and there was some girl in his video, which I don't remember this story now. Maybe some stuff had went past me, but I remember, I'm saying this in my other video. I don't know if I put that video up, that Dr. Umar was talking about the lady, she was pregnant and married at the time of his fashion show during his community event, where he got married to the two ladies. And he didn't pick her, and that's how he tells the story. He didn't pick her, so she got upset. So now she wrote over to Tasha K. That's a long story short. But O'Shea Duke Jackson has a lady in a different video saying that she had dated him for a while, and that she was a what was her name? Conscious stripper or something. She could, whatever that is, child. And she dated him for a while, and I guess he got upset because she had put the video up saying whatever about her relationship with him. Because people started questioning. Like I said, I don't know why people are questioning Dr. Who do y'all think Dr. Umar is gonna? I don't get it. He comes off like the type of guy who would date a stripper. He comes off like he would be all up in somebody's marriage. I'm not sure what y'all seeing, because I don't see it. Like questioning him about his morals. Do he really come off? Do he come off like he would be married somewhere with? I don't know. I don't get what you guys are saying with that. I think that seeing these women fall in line with who I think that he is personally. But that's just my opinion. And then O'Shea Duke Jackson was over there kind of similar, saying something similar to what I'm saying, but you know, I'm sure that's gonna. I don't know if Dr. Umar will respond to O'Shea Duke Jackson or not. O'Shea makes a joke about everything, so he is going to say he was joking around, of course, but but I'm serious. I mean, he strikes me as the type of guy that would do the stuff that these women are saying, even though I do think, just from listening to the lady that was talking to Tasha K, she is a little on the bitter side. That's how she came off in that interview to me. And some of the stuff she was saying did not make sense. Like O'Shea was saying, like, well, why did you keep dealing with him if he was doing all this stuff? And I think that's an honest question. But Tasha K wasn't really questioning. She didn't really ask her that many questions. But yeah, that kind of came into my mind too. Like, well, why did you keep talking to him? Why did you keep dealing with him if he was saying and doing all that stuff? And she is the one that's married, so. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that Dr. Umar situation, because of course he went live and he was saying a bunch of stuff. He didn't go live about what O'Shea Duke Jackson was saying. He went live about Tasha K's interview with Ayana. I believe her name is pronounced Ayana. Let me know what y'all thought about that situation as well. Let me see what else I was saying I wanted to talk about in here. I talked about Usher. Yeah, that's Usher from today. He don't look like he was beat up, because they were saying that Chris Brown and his entourage beat him up. He don't look beat up to me. He looks like Usher. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I want to get on some the channel. I'm not on that channel, but I'm going to I guess I'll bring that up, some personal stuff as far as my channel. I'm going to start making some of my videos only available to members only because of a situation that I'm dealing with. I got people over here, which this is a public channel. Obviously, YouTube is a public, you know, platform, so people can come over here. But I don't know these people, I'm. It's a long story, and I will get into it when the time is right to get into it. But yeah, some of my videos are gonna become membership videos. So, and this is on the main channel. I do have another The Godly channel, which I'm gonna go live on, and Godly Live. I'm gonna start going live on there as well instead of using this channel. Um, and I know I'm telling them the channels, but trust me, everything's about to get locked down, and it's about to get like I said, I'm gonna go the membership route because of that situation. Um, if you want to be over here being nosy, drop some money. How about that? No, and that's how we're about to run that. So yeah, it's some stuff that I want to get into. Like remember I was trying to do the whole thing about well, I might still um do come back again and post some more videos about the cult life, right? Because with the Nature Boy, even though he's not out here anymore, um, I just thought it was important to make people aware of certain things. Sometimes, awareness. We need to raise some conversations, especially in our community, because we just don't have the media like that really focus in on things that we should be talking about. So I might do the cult life again, but I wanted to start another series, and I wanted to ask you guys if some of you guys were interested in getting involved about cyber stalking and cyberbullying, because I have a situation right now that I'm dealing with, and some other people are dealing with as well. I know Storm Monroe was also speaking to this, and some other YouTubers have spoke about this as well. I'm sure you guys are familiar with some of the people who have talked about this, but I just wanted to do a broader conversation of awareness, because I don't know for sure that people are really aware of how people are misusing these cell phones, the video, like when we put our YouTube videos up, people can use certain things to track us, to track people that are following our videos. And so I wanted to talk about that and just make people aware of some of the stuff that's going on out here and some of the organizations that you can get involved with, if you are dealing with that, if you people want to come on and tell their stories, because like I said, so many people have already dealt with this type of thing. I'm not the only person that's dealing with it. Now I'm not the only person that's dealing with it. So people have already gone through a lot of this stuff. I'm not just talking about doxing, or how some of the YouTubers will dox each other and put each other's address in their videos or whatever. I'm talking about like really following people around like on some nutcase shit. Okay. So and then try to pretend like that's not what you are and who you are, when that is with who you are. So that part. That's what I want to talk about. If you've been in a situation like that and you want to share your story, um, you can there's ways to contact me through this page, of course. Um, and we can set up, a conversation. And people, if you have information that you would like to share around the topic, things that you've gone through, if you don't want to go on video giving the information, you can still send it to me, and I'll add it in, because I want to do like a series of conversations of things that I'm not real sure that people are familiar with or not. I just want to talk about it, to bring it up, because I think people need to learn how to recognize these things when they're happening, how to handle them when they're happening, um, because I know for me, not knowing how to handle it, I just thought, okay, well, this is something that we probably should be talking about. You know, obviously, people don't want to really put things in play to protect people because then they can't come in and use your information to sell it and make all this money off the marketing and all this. Everything always comes back to the to money, right? It always come back to the economics, like I said. So it's that part too. It's it's just so many ways to take this conversation, so many directions, I should say, to take this conversation. And so that's what I want to do. So look forward to seeing some post about that. Um, you know, just looking into some of the behavior of psychopathic behavior of people that do stuff like this, because there is there it believe it or not, it's research out here on it. It's like I said, organizations out here who deal with the conversation around people who do stuff like this and why they do it. And there are names for it. So when I say psychopath, that is not me trying to just say something. If you really look up the definition of it, that's what it is. um and people who do things to people and then try to take it off themselves and act as if you've done something to them to sort of excuse their behavior. But there's really no excuse for some of the stuff that people do out here. It's just not. um and of course this conversation has come up with some celebrities as well, right? Like even with I believe Black China. Remember when she was breaking up with Rob and he put the pictures out there and stuff like that. Like people they use the internet and they use these phones and all this stuff and to play dirty, right? To play very dirty. And all this stuff is illegal. It's against the law. There are laws in place against people doing stuff like this, but then they don't want to face that reality. They just wanted to make excuses for why they're doing the stuff that they're doing, and there's really no reason for them to be doing it, right? So yeah, we'll get into that. Um, and like I said, if you guys want to share your stories, please let me know in an email or in you could go to it's the Instagram page. Even though I haven't been over there on Instagram, I don't, I'm not on the gram like that unless I'm using it for resources. But I can go over there and check the messages. If I see messages, I will read them. Um, if you guys want to come on and have a discussion about around centered around that type of behavior, like I said, if you just have resources, information that you want me to share, that would be appreciated as well. I have a lot of stuff that I want to share, so I'm going to start sharing that. And like I said, then I'm going to just take this main page into like a membership and start building on the other pages. um and do it that way because people are coming on my page and stuff and they really shouldn't be on here. And but we're gonna deal with it. We're dealing with it little, it's gonna get dealt with. But let me know what you guys think about all these conversations that were in this video tonight about Jamie Foxx. What you think is going on with that? Usher and Chris Brown, of course, and Dr. Umar and Lorenz Tate as well. What do you think about that? Oh, I know what I was gonna bring up was the whole Steve Harvey thing. So this video might be a little longer than I thought it was gonna be. Um, so um Steve Harvey did this interview with Shannon Sharp, which I really enjoyed that interview. I think I enjoyed his interview with Candy as well, Candy Burris. Shannon Sharp, he is pretty good at interviewing. Now who was saying, oh, Corey Holcomb and his panel they were having that discussion, and I agree. I was feeling that way too. I feel like he's a good he's good at interviewing people. Um, And so Steve Harvey was on there, and I guess Steve Harvey, he probably just had interviews scheduled simply because for other reasons. I don't necessarily think he was out interviewing because of the ex-husband's book or whatever. And to my understanding, the ex-husband is deciding that he's not going to put the book out. There was a book coming from, what's his name, James or Jim Townsend. He was married to Steve Harvey's wife. And I'm not gonna get into it. I don't even have no feelings on the whole Steve Harvey thing anymore. Now years ago when I was listening to him on the radio, he was married to Mary, and it was just a bizarre chain of events. Like when I don't know what was going on, and because I don't know what's going on, I don't even want to get off into it. But I don't think that that lady was lying. She was not lying about all of that stuff. Some of that stuff that she was saying really was happening, and that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, and everything over here is allegedly. Because you don't, well, you can come over here if you want to. But anyway, so he was talking and he was saying all this stuff about how he was talking. Like I said, I like the way Shannon Sharp interview, because he was talking about a bunch of stuff. He was talking about the Kings of Comedy, and Shannon asked him about his relationship with Bernie Mac and Cedric the Entertainer. And see, I never knew about the Cedric the Entertainer part, but I knew that there was something that went on between him and Bernie Mac, because Bernie Mac addressed it before he passed, obviously long before he passed away. And so he, in this interview, was kind of saying like, well, some people wanted to go do movies, and see, they were not a group. Yeah, you guys were not a group, and you guys didn't come into comedy together. You guys came into comedy as individuals. So these individuals, to me, this is my opinion, they have a right to branch off and do whatever it is that they can do to make money, right? And so I felt like there was just a level of jealousy there, because I think it was Ocean 11 that Bernie Mac was in, and some other movies that he was in that were successful, even the smaller movies, right? Like Players Club, right? That's a classic movie with some classic lines that came from Bernie Mac, right? And so I felt like any artist have a right to expand and do as much as they can do, especially when you black out here. And Steve Harvey was the was the one who said it. We black out here. I mean, y'all black out there. So I mean, I didn't really get that. I think that he was just kind of trying to mask over whatever really happened between him and Bernie Mac. And this is just my opinion. And like I said, I didn't even know there was a situation with Cedric the Entertainer. But he said that both of them started doing movies, and I guess yeah, Cedric was doing movies as well. But I felt like they were doing what they should have been doing, right? To me, that's my opinion. But he felt like they should have kept as going as the kings of comedy, the comedy route. But like I said, this is not New Edition. Y'all was not a group. These guys were, y'all didn't sign no contracts together. Y'all just signed a contract together to do that movie. Um, they all came in at different times from different places, and so you can't hold somebody to doing things your way. And Steve Harvey is very, I don't know, he's very much like that. He thinks everything is supposed to. His idea is the idea of all ideas, and it's not always like that. And you don't get to dictate nobody else's life. I'm sorry. So I was just side eye on that whole conversation. And then of course he got into relationships, and I'm sure y'all know people say things about his wife because she was married to the drug dealer, the kingpin's child, and I think one, and then she was dating another one. But I believe the guy said to Tasha K that they were not cousins, they were not bloodline cousins anyway. But she was dating the cousin or the close person, called a cousin, after the kingpin went to jail. So, and I think Lori is the daughter of the cousin or the friend. Um, so yeah, he started going into this whole stuff about relationships and how women shouldn't have to bring nothing to the table. And I kind of agree with Willie D. And there's a few other men out here who, of course, are speaking on the whole Steve Harvey situation in this interview. And Corey Holcomb is one of them as well. And he was saying that Steve Harvey, is the number one simp. And a lot of guys are saying that. So I don't know. I don't really think that I feel that way about the simp stuff. I just feel that I agree with Willie D. It's easy for Steve Harvey to say that now because when Steve Harvey was on the radio, he often told stories about his own struggles, right? So nobody just walked into Hollywood and now they just had all this money. All of those people that came up through my generation, they had to work for the stuff that they have, right? And like Corey Holcomb was saying and a few other people, you gotta give Steve Harvey his props because I don't know how that man and when I got 7 jobs at the same time like that. Like that, I don't know if that's the type of record or what, but I don't know how he did that. But you have to give him credit for that. And so you've made all this money from all these different streams of revenue. Um, and so it's easy for you to sit out here and say that you can take care of a woman, but everybody is not in that position to sit here and say that anymore. Like stuff is just not what it used to be anyway. And people I've already said this video. People don't look at marriage the same like that. People don't look at they don't even define the roles of a man and a wife or a man and a woman the same anymore either. So it's easy just for him to say that because people are looking at his situation with his current wife and they see that he is clearly taking care of her, right? And so because when he was married to Mary and told the story and Mary told the story as well, Steve Harvey did not have the money that he has today. When he met her, he was still doing comedy shows. That's what I'm saying. All these people, they all, had a path. And so he was doing comedy shows and he met her, I think, at a Macy's or something. So, and she said that I believe she was saying that she paid for some of their dates. So now, yeah, because you have all this money, you can sit out here and say that you can take it. A woman don't have to bring nothing to the table. But everybody's not in that position in life. Every man is not in that position in life to say that. So some people are going to go get into relationships where everybody is bringing something, right? Everybody is doing their part, right? And so I don't know. He was like saying, "You young cats out here telling these women why they gotta bring something to the table, and what y'all bringing to the table, and all this stuff." I mean, I understood what he was saying, but at the same time, I don't think that's realistic. Today, I don't think it's realistic in the fact that people just don't have Steve Harvey's type of money. And like I said, you out here with 7 jobs at the same doggone time. Um, so yeah, you can say that. You can say that you can take care of this woman and all her children and your other children and other wives. You can say that now. But you could not say you probably couldn't have said that 30 years ago. And you would not have probably said that 30 years ago. And I agree with Willie D on that. It's just easy for him to say that right now. But the Corey Holcomb stuff, I think that Corey Holcomb, to me, he always just kind of go left with stuff. Y'all could let me know if you've been hearing the stuff that he was saying about him being a simp. And um, now the Bernie Mac stuff, I agree. I do feel like there was something more there than what he was just telling Shannon Sharp about the Bernie Mac situation. But I mean, yeah, if you're in a position to say that a woman don't have to bring nothing to the table, then yeah, you can say that. But to say that to all the rest of these men, in particular these young men who are probably not going to get in the situation that you're in anytime soon because you wasn't there at their age. You was working just like they were. So, I mean, yeah, they should be out here dating women who want something as well. I don't necessarily subscribe to that old thing of men taking care of women. because oftentimes people use stuff, men use these things, um, they leverage them against women anyway. And so I come from the mindset that women should know how to work for themselves and know how to have things on their own. Um, and so some people would say that Marjorie is the is that her name? Marjorie, right? Marjorie, his wife, she's the ultimate hustler, right? Like everybody can't get out here and hustle like her. To we keep landing all these folks to just put money in her pocket. So that's not every woman's story. So either, that's not realistic for every woman to say that you just gonna hustle up on. I mean, not that that ain't even nothing to inspire to date no damn drug dealer. And I don't care who don't like what I say. Okay, that's not nothing to inspire to be out here people killing off our community. I'm sorry. Um, Steve Harvey, and another thing, because Corey Holcomb was saying the whole thing about why he married her. I feel like she was a acceptable look because he actually talked about that years ago on his radio, one of his radio shows. He was saying how he had won some award one year and he was still married to Mary, and Mary was the one who presented him the award. And he was saying that people were texting him, well, emailing him or whatever, texting and saying that, saying negative stuff about Mary and about her looks and all this stuff. And so I feel like that the other wife is just she fits into that Hollywood mold, right? And it's unfortunate that Black people conform to what other people want from them, if that's what they want to call it. That somebody else want to see you doing certain things a certain way, and you have to do it because that's acceptable to them. I mean, you're making that choice to do that though. You don't really necessarily get to blame how the people of Hollywood, because you don't have to do what they want you to do. You can live your life the way you want to live your life and let that be the story. But anyway, I think that she is the look that he thinks that because he said it on the evening with the Shannon, he kind of alluded to it in the Shannon Sharp, that when he married Marjorie, all this stuff, all these jobs started falling in his lap, right? But he kind of alluded to that back then when he said that people were saying negative stuff about Mary when she was giving him that award. And he was saying, I don't care what y'all say about my wife, or kind of saying stuff about her looks. I think Mary is pretty lady as well. Um, like I said, if you're gonna fall into stuff because of what somebody is saying, then you are a follower, and you are, as Corey was saying, a beta man. If you're doing that, like, why are you listening to other people and what they think about your wife anyway? But anyway, I feel like she is more of a look that's acceptable to certain people. So that's what it is more than anything else. Um, and I said what I said because he said it himself. He definitely was really on that conversation that year about that. And the next thing you looked up, he was leaving Mary, and next he was marrying this other person, and it didn't want anybody to say Mary's name, and Mary, and it was a bunch of mess that was going on around that. So, and now he out here talking about because he married to her, he getting all this work. So you're kind of saying what I'm saying, and you're just not saying it directly the way I'm saying it. But I digress. If y'all saw the interview, let me know what y'all thought about the interview. And what he was saying, as far as women shouldn't have to bring anything to the table, a man is supposed to take care of a woman. That is what the way it is. And I just don't think people feel that way anymore. I think that that's probably the way people were raised at one time, there is a role for a man, and there's a role for the wife or the woman. But I don't feel like people really follow, they don't follow that way. Now some people still want that family structure, especially if they grew up watching that or seeing that, they might want that family structure that way. But everybody is like Willie D said, everybody's not in a position to say that their wife don't have to work, that she, it's a man's job to provide for her. Um, some people have to have two income homes, and that's okay too. I think that what Steve Harvey was trying to say was kind of him hitting at this whole Black manosphere nonsense, and these guys, these red pill guys out here talking about people bringing stuff to the table. Um, and ain't none of their asses married. So nobody should be listening to them anyway. But I digress. Let me know what you guys think about that conversation, that interview. It's been some pretty good interviews the last couple weeks that I haven't been able to talk about, but I thought the Steve Harvey interview still was a good interview, and I was side-eyed on it. I was side-eyed on it, but especially that Bernie Mac and Cedric the Entertainer stuff. And Corey, I mean, that man is so rude. He was really, really, really riding Steve. I guess he was trying to, I guess he taking up for Bernie and Cedric though, but I kind of agree with him though. I, some of it I do agree. But I do think Steve is funny. Um, it's something about some people that they just have it's some, I don't know that, I don't, I can't explain it, but he have his moments. I'm not gonna say he's the worst of the worst comedians like Corey was saying it, but he have his moments. And I forget why he said that he's not gonna go out on the road anymore. I guess because of the jobs that he have. But you see how it's okay for him to have all that. I don't know. But for whatever reason, it wasn't okay for Bernie and for Cedric to go out and get some jobs. But now it's okay for him to be out here with with 9 or 10 jobs at the same damn time. I don't know, child. I just feel like he got jealous and he felt like they were moving on faster than him. That's what I think. And because some people are very competitive like that. They are competing with people for no reason. Like these are supposed to be your friends. You should be happy for these people, right? That they can take their families and move their families up, and build, generational wealth. I mean, everything, people are so self absorbed. And I just got that feeling about Steve listening to him on the radio anyway. Everything is about him to him. And it's not that way. I'm sorry. But yeah, he was giving his reasoning, and it sounded like a different reason from years ago of why he fell out with Bernie Mac. But let me know what y'all think about that whole conversation. If you heard what Corey Holcomb had to say over there on his platform, let me know what you think about what he was saying. Um, I don't agree with all that stuff he was saying. Some of it, yes, some of it, no. I don't agree with all this. I think Steve is funny. He has his moments when he is funny, and he has his moments when he can get on your nerves too. Like that versus stuff was ridiculous to me. To me, it was ridiculous. But he have his moments that when he have been funny to me. But and about him saying that a woman don't have to bring nothing to the table. What do you think about that? Yeah, when you have 9 jobs, you should your wife shouldn't have to work. I guess when you breaking your back to go get everything, then yeah, she shouldn't have to work. And what do you think about the rest of the stories that I was talking about? Lorenz Tate interview, Baby going to get BG for the Hot Boys tour. Do you think that's gonna happen? What is going on with Jamie Foxx? Let me know what you guys think about the Jamie Foxx situation. I guess we just all have to keep him lifted in prayer. Let me know what y'all think about all these stories. And like I said, if you guys want to talk about this cyber stalking stuff, child, because this is craziness going on out here, and people need to be aware of all this foolishness that people are doing with with their phones and IP numbers and your cable. They all on your Wi-Fi and your smart TV, child. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. And we definitely have to talk about it. And about how there should just be more protection for people. Because personally, I don't know if you guys remember that situation where the girl I forget what city she was in. I think she was in Texas, and the man came all the way from Florida and was in her house when she got home and killed her, and then put the lipstick and all that stuff all over the wall. And a lot of people were creating commentary feeling like, oh, he was a John or something, or somebody that she knew, or sugar daddy, or what have you. And then when the media came back and they told that she didn't know that man at all. So this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. People tapping into people's computers, tapping in to people's cell phones to get your location and knowing where you are. And people need to really understand that this stuff happens even when you don't have phone service on your phone. People can tap into that phone. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because I think that people need to be careful out here. They need to be mindful that people can use these things in a dangerous way, and in a way to really create havoc in a person's life. Sometimes people that you don't even know will do it as well. And there's stories of people out here blackmailing people, taking pictures off of their phone, and then trying to get them to pay their money to not put the pictures up, all kind of stuff. So I just think that we need to talk about all this stuff that's going on out here and bring some awareness to it. Because I also think that people need to start keeping. I see that they're talking about making it where kids under 13 cannot have social media accounts, and this is why this is all a part of that. It's a part of that because people don't realize that when these kids have these phones and you're thinking, okay, well, I can at least track where they are. Yeah, but somebody else is tracking them as well. And it's that part too. And I think that's why they're saying that they need to get these kids off these phones. But we're going to talk about all of that. Let me know what you guys think about all these conversations, and I'll see you guys in the next video.